I said to him, well, it is week 6.
Oh, that is rich! Oh.
And it's a bye week for most.
Welcome to week 6 of America the Beautiful, everybody. I am with my two cohorts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The original cast.
Henchmen. That's
Yeah,
right.
yes. We go and jump in the standings for the American Championship.
That's the story of the year.
Yeah, multiple Gorgasms is still in first place.
What a bitch.
Whatever. Butt Fumble, Organized Crime, Johnny Cashews, Morgan Cole Perry. We're representing the bottom 5 last year.
Yeah.
Now they're in the top 5.
I don't know how it's possible.
They had a good draft.
I guess so.
Perry took Peyton. That's
They didn't waste draft picks on David Wilson or Eli Manning.
Yes.
Wait a second. Did anybody in our league do that?
Yeah.
Would it happen to be the bottom 2 teams in our league?
Is it?
Bottom feeders.
Could it just so happen that they're playing each other this week?
That is going to be intense.
And the dumpiest matchup in league history?
And you have somewhat of a relationship.
I do. I'm familiar with the Petersons. The Peterson and the Peterson Garden. She's been demolished. I asked her to hyphenate her last name because of her standing so far.
So yeah, Greg's in last 0-5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 1-4 teams. Repping hard.
4-1-4 teams. That couldn't be any among us. Oh, wish! How the mighty have fallen!
I made a bold move.
While you were getting fat sitting on the top, we all went and sharpened our teeth. Now look at
I traded Frank Gore, received Brandon Marshall.
I like that trade for you.
I do too.
What kind of idiot would give you that?
Only somebody he's related to.
Enough is enough, and it's time for some change. I gotta get some W's.
Yeah.
Coming for you, man. I'm coming for you, man.
Ooh,
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Be a man.
Come on. Come on, man.
So,
Wait, our bye week teams, Falcons and Dolphins.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the Falcons.
ooh,
Julio Jones is out for the year.
He is.
He's a top 5 wide receiver.
No doubt.
The Rams are in the Falcons are in disarray.
Oh yeah.
They're on the bye, like I said, but Roddy might not even play the week after the bye. They've been bringing in a bunch of wide receivers.
Yep, they've been bringing in Laurent Robinson. They've been bringing in Muhammad Massaquoi.
They signed.
Terrell Owens might be on the radar.
No.
To me, this doesn't look good for receivers. It doesn't necessarily look good for Tony Gonzalez. To me, this just says running game. I mean, I don't know if they're going
But
to get
Steven
more
Jackson's
points.
hurt.
He should be coming back pretty soon, right?
Yeah. Jacquees. Depend heavily on Jacquees.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, I mean, that's the thing is the running game's pretty decent so far. But, I mean, without the threat of that passing game, I don't know what's going to happen with that offense.
They're 1-4.
Yeah.
Just trade Tony Gonzalez back to KC. Man, see, you get the tackles, and then you upgrade to the sacks, and then the pick sixes, and the interceptions, and then it's just anarchy. It's just wild.
Speaking of pick sixes,
Matt Schaub.
Matthew Schaub had a guy raid his front yard this week.
He, gotta feel bad for him.
It's terrible down there in Houston.
It is. They had so much expectations.
We'll talk about Matt Schaub later in the quarterbacks, but
Okay.
for right now we got week 6
Defense.
defense.
All right, the first one that I want to talk about is the Browns going up against the Lions. Megatron is still iffy if he's going to play Sunday or not. Either way, if he does play, Joe Hayden's going to cover him. Joe Hayden is definitely a top 5 cornerback right now.
Yep.
If he doesn't play, then, like I said, you got to bump the Browns up even higher.
Browns got a good front seven.
Yeah.
They've been stout all year, so I think that's a good move.
Coming up next, I have the Bengals going to Buffalo. Their front seven's good, like you said about the Browns.
Spend a lot of their money on their front seven.
They only have given up 221 yards passing, and they're starting a quarterback, Thad Lewis.
Thaddeus.
He only has 1 NFL start.
Week 16 last year for the Browns, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. And, I mean, he played okay.
He had a decent pass rating.
22 of 32, pass rating
Yeah.
at 83, so, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like you said, he's playing a good front seven.
Yeah, he could surprise. And from what I read, I think Stevie Johnson's kind of iffy right now. So, we'll see. And then bumping up, going into my top 5, Kansas City. They're playing the Raiders. The Raiders have won 6 in a row against the Chiefs. but I think it's over.
The Raiders.
I think the streak's over. The Raiders have given up 18 sacks this year.
I think Shope's coming over this weekend to watch the game.
As long as it's not on 11:30 like last week. And the Chiefs are number 1 in the NFL with 21 sacks.
Yep.
So, a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but they are going against Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor, a little bit more mobile back there. So.
Yeah, against Matt Flynn, who gave up, I think, 7 sacks to the Redskins.
It's a tough weekend.
So, effectively, anyways, that's my defense for this week.
Good luck.
Fight the power.
Get down with some quarterbacks.
Quite like my palate. Here's Manning and Breeze that you have as one and two.
Number 1 and 2. Manning, Breeze, yeah, they're going to trade off a lot. Until Manning starts throwing more interceptions, it's going to be Manning number 1, Breeze number 2.
Exactly.
They're both going to throw it a ton, so start them this week, start them the rest of the year, unless one of them breaks a tibia or something. But that's neither here nor there.
Definitely true.
Speaking of Manning, I think Romo will also have another big week this week. Yeah, he had to throw it a ton last week because Manning does give the ball back to the opposing team quite a bit. And the Skins are 27th against the pass in fantasy points. So I think Romo will have another big week. Terrence Williams, which you could talk about later, proved to be that number 2 guy.
Exactly.
So,
and plus, I guess the Skins are coming off a bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this, but it's kind of hard. They're a high-powered offense they're going against.
They are. And, as much as they like to play that up-tempo a little bit, it's just going to give Roman more time with the football. So I think he'll have another big week. Des Bryant's going to stay hot for him also. I think we're going to have a sleeper this week. Your boy over here, Chad Henne.
Mr. Blame It on the Head.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Playing Denver, same thing as last week. Denver's going to run through their offense and give Chad Henne a ton of time with the football. Like you said earlier, he's a gunslinger, so he will throw it around. He's got Blackman back this week and Cecil Shorts, so
Shorts as well, yeah. And
spread
plus,
the field a little bit there.
I guess they're going to have to just abandon the run and just pass all day.
Yeah, MJD hasn't done. Thinking about that anytime. MJD hasn't done a whole lot this year. I mean, yeah, they've been just kind of sitting 8 in the box, but
Exactly.
with Blackman and Short stretching the field, we'll see how it goes. With Blackman back, that gives Henne some more options. So we'll see how they do there. Plus, Denver is 4th worst against the pass.
Ooh.
Yeah, not great.
America, it's time for running backs for week 6. I have my partner in crime, one Shane Gardner.
That's right.
I'm Morgan Heath. Normally, what I would do is talk to you about players within my top 15.
Yeah,
But
I
at
love
week-
the top 15.
Of course, but at week 6, you don't need to know about them. Because if you don't know about them, you don't deserve to be in this league.
Fair enough.
So what I'm going to do is talk to you about 4 players that I think you need to start at your flex position. At the 4th spot, Mike Tolbert. This guy has been a straight vulture at the goal line. I think he's going to continue to do that. I think he is just a beast of a running back at the goal line. Carolina's going to get to the goal line, start Mike Tolbert. At the 3rd spot, a guy I talked about last week, Danny Woodhead. This guy can catch. What is this league all about? Passing.
That's
Passing.
Right. He made you look good last week, didn't he?
He did make me look good. He's going to make me look good again this week, too. I know he's playing Indianapolis, but he is Phillip Rivers' go-to guy besides Antonio Gates. So I would definitely start Woodhead. Next up is Willis McGahee. Now, I know he spent some time off, but going up against that Detroit defense this week, no offense to your Lions, but Detroit has been giving up points to the running back.
Oh, yeah.
Alfred Morris put up his best performance this year against Detroit.
Yeah.
So look for Willis McGahee to get some good points this week, start him in your flex. And my number 1 flex position this week, Doug Martin. Now I know that may come as a shock. Why would you start Doug Martin in the flex? Well, statistically, he only has 46 points to this year. If he keeps this up, he will be 100 points behind where he finished last year. He's got to bounce back at some point. This is the week he does it. He is playing Philadelphia. Doug Martin is going to light it up this week. Start him in your flex position. That's running backs for week 6.
By the way, so a lot of people use the early pick on Doug Martin.
Yep.
Greg used a pretty early pick on David Wilson. You see him coming back anytime this year?
Man, he is such a hard book to read. You just don't know with him. I mean, one minute he's scoring touchdowns and doing double backflips, and the next week he's out. So I don't know what to think of him.
All right.
All right, that's running backs.
What do you want?
It's time.
It's time for what?
It's tight end time.
Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Tight end time. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen. time is starting to get pretty damn accurate. The entertainment's been there, but now the accuracy, I gotta say, is coming up.
That's good. You were only 6 weeks in.
That's right. Charles Clay, bold prediction. Last week he proved us right.
Way to go.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. But I've been putting 12 tight ends in there. I can't do it anymore.
Why not?
Because here's what's happening with these 12 tight ends. I'm putting guys in there that aren't getting you at least 8 points. And I don't have time for a tight end that's not putting up 8 points.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody's got time for
I
that.
certainly don't have time for that. Maybe if you're like at the bottom of the league, you got time for that.
All right, I see what you're saying, Morgan, but let's point something out. The people at the bottom of the league don't have quality tight ends, and that's why they're at the bottom of the league. In this league, good tight end means good position. Trey is in first place. He's got the best tight end, Jimmy Graham. Dude's got 113 points on the year. Second only to Peyton Manning, I believe. Perry, he's in second. He's got Vernon Davis all day. Morgan, you're in third. You got Antonio Gates. He's your fourth top scoring tight end right now.
I'll take it.
Cole's in fourth. He's got Jason Witten. So, America, what this means is that this is a league that is built on the bedrock, the cornerstone of tight ends. And if you don't have one, forget about it.
You're trash.
That's right. But guys, this week I'm going out there a little bit. I'm going to have to take Jimmy Graham out at first.
Okay.
It's insanity, right?
It is insane.
But I think I've picked up on a trend.
What's that?
All right, Vernon Davis is going up against Arizona this week. Arizona is the team that Jared Cook blew up against week 1.
And he hasn't blown up since.
He hasn't, that's my point. Jared Cook was the best tight end week 1. Jimmy Graham, week 3, put up 29 points against him.
That's true.
Another top tight end performance. And I think that Vernon Davis is going to make it a third best tight end performance against Arizona this week. It's the only reason I got him ahead of Jimmy Graham.
Do a little salsa for old Victor Cruz. But let's see it. Victor Cruz will not be doing it this week. Here we are, America's top wide receivers. They will be scrolling on the bottom. But what I'm going to tell you is some breakout performers to look into. And let's open the vault. Let's see what we got to unlock. First off, Denver going against Jacksonville. We all know to start any wide receiver there. Next, Buccaneers. Vincent Jackson. He hasn't been doing well at all within the past few weeks. He's coming off that bye. Most of you will not try to start him, but I'd say do. Why? Because they're going against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles are letting up the most fantasy points to wide receivers. So look for that. I see Vincent Jackson making some big plays there. Also, we got Brandon Marshall. He's playing Thursday night here. He's going up against the New York Giants D, who's letting up the most fantasy points as well, second most. So look into that. I mean, Brandon Marshall didn't play well against New Orleans. We all know that. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's looking to make some big plays, and this is the time for him to do it. One guy that I mentioned last week, Justin Blackmon, who came off that 4-game suspension, and he blew it up. He's only owned in 30% of fantasy leagues. Some of you are not taking this opportunity. Pick him up as long as you can. I mean, he's got Chad Henne. Last week he put 5 receptions for 136 yards and a touchdown. So look out for that. I mean, he's playing against Denver. They're going to have to throw a lot, so I feel like he can have some breakout performances right there. And also, we got Tavon Austin. Please stay away from this guy. He's a young athlete. He's quick. He's agile, but he's just not getting the opportunities that he can. He only put up 122 yards in the first 5 games this year. So just stay away from him. They're going against Houston, and Houston's cornerbacks are very good. So I'm looking for him to get shut down as well, once again. Also, Cleveland Browns. Their defense is actually solid. Joe Hayden is a beast. So it all depends as to whether Megatron is actually playing or not. If he is, start him, of course, because it is Megatron. But if not, do not put in any Detroit Lions wide receiver. You might as well have Shane Gardner out there doing it. Do not do it. It's a bad choice.